Hello guys, this is Paula and I'm back today to work on the Rose book with you. I'm limiting how much time I am in my craft room because I'll just be honest, moving around in my room, getting one thing or another is painful for me. I know that sounds crazy, but I've let my hip go to the point that it's not too tolerable. So, on to a different subject, which is I got a sweet, lovely card this week from Mildred. And I'm not going to, let me move the envelope here, but it's a really cute envelope. And Mildred made me a card, which represents Sadie Rose, which I think is super sweet. Mildred, thank you so much for thinking of me. And look how cute the inside is. I just love it. So this is from Mildred Murphy. And Mildred has bought many of my books, and I appreciate her so much for thinking of me. And she even included this sweet tag, which I will hang on to. I have a few things that I've gotten. I haven't gotten a ton, but I have got things from some of my subbies that I'm hanging on to. And at some point when I have what I feel like is enough to start the book, I'm going to start a book, putting all these goodies in it. And I just appreciate all of you who have been telling me that you're praying for me and lifting me up. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys in general, but I love that you're thinking of me, and I appreciate it. All right, so let's move on to the Rose book. Now, I went ahead and put the crackle, which was the next step after painting the book blue. I went ahead and put the crackle on because it just takes a matter of seconds. So I did that this morning, and that should be ready tomorrow to put the white paint on and see the magic. So our next video will show how our cover is going to turn out. Now, am I going to put a decoration on the front of the cover? I don't know yet. It will have to be the perfect decoration, okay? The paper I'm using for this kit is, or for this book, is by Close to My Heart. And I think it's a group of papers that are not any longer available. I'm telling you that because I bought them on clearance, got the best deal in the world. I bought 2 packs of paper that all were real similar and had different kinds of roses and flowers and different geographic designs and so forth. And I decided I wanted them both because I didn't know what I was going to do with them at the time. But I have enough to do another book similar to this. So, I don't know if this is going to be too much paper or just enough paper. So our book is 8.5 by 5 1/4. And it's going to have a, excuse me, 1.5 inch signature. So let me make sure I'm telling you right on the signature. Yes, 1.5. 1.5. Maybe it's a little more. Wait a minute. Almost 1.5. I mean 1 3/4. Almost, but not quite. So we're just going to call it 1.5. But it's going to be divided into 3. And we're going to have 3 fun signatures. So this is the kind of like the limited edition paper. I've showed you guys the paper already, but now I have actually picked the paper. Now this is what the little cover, how the little cover turned out. You know, we have no way of knowing how it's going to turn out. We just have to hope for the best. And that's kind of the mystery and fun of doing the crackle. And I'll do it again. I just think it's so much fun. So first I thought we would decide on the order of our paper. So I think I want, when we first open it, to have either these shiny gold limited edition roses or this shiny, no, not shiny, this floral. I kind of think that if we put the floral up against the paper that's going to be on the inside of the cover, which is going to be this, these roses remind me of the layers that we're putting on, and also the same blue. And I thought what we would do is put this and this, so this sheet will go on the inside, front and back cover. So that's going to be what brings the blue from the outside in. And then we've got these white roses and these pink roses. Excuse me. Why does it always start when you're, well, you know what this says. This doesn't call them roses. It just says live beautifully. But I'm here to tell you that looks like a rose to me. And these look like some of the roses my mom would have open, but they're calling it white daisies, that these are white daisies. Now, I've never seen a daisy look like that before. So they talk about all the different colors: black, dark green, dark pink, gray, pink, sea glass. Oh, no, no, no. The white is the color white daisy, and then yellow. Okay, so this is roses, yes. See, here's the other side, which I think is pretty too. So these are roses on this paper. I misunderstood there. Read the whole sentence, Paula, and you'll see what it says. Okay, so I'm thinking that we want to use this for the first page. You know, the first signature. So I'm going to go ahead and move some of this glue that just keeps falling over that I thought would not bug me. But yes, it is. So I've got out my giant cutting, machine by Fiskar. This one, the name of it's not on here, but it is the big one. It's the heavy one with the big bars. And it will cut chipboard, it will cut layers. I know it cuts layers, and I trust that it cuts layers, but I'm not gonna try it with our first page. So let's try it with some pages that if it messes up, we won't be too sad. Do you know what I'm saying? I do want to, I've got 3 different shape papers here. Now this book is going to be more than pink and burgundy and blue. It's going to have some other colors like peach, a little bit of green, and yellow. And the reason I threw the yellow in was because it did go with these other 2 that I wanted, but it also has the green on this side. Both sides are different. Was because of the yellow in this. Okay, so we're not having a lot of extra yellow, but that is definitely a yellow. Okay, so you want to make sure your papers are all facing the same direction. You know, you don't want it to not be correct. Let's see, we want to make sure the top of the paper, or the best side of the paper, I'll put it that way. The best side of the paper is on the top. And that way we get it all just like we want it. And I'm looking to make sure the shapes match. I know that shouldn't make that much difference, but it does to me. Okay, so we're gonna do this as, so the width of the paper itself is going to be, the paper will be 8 1/4, okay, for the height. So I think we should do the height first, okay? So we'll do that. Let's do the height first. And we want the height to be, let me see, trying to decide. I don't want that portion. So put the good side, the side you know you want in here, that you want to be 1/8 and 1/4, you know, which is the height of our book. The book is actually 8 1/2 tall, so we're going to go 1/4 smaller, so that we can have, you know, room for it to fit just perfect in the book. So 8 1/4 is what we're going for. I'm sorry, I'm slow with Christmas, but I know you want Christmas to come slow, right? Okay, so you want to make sure your papers are all evened up, and then you want to make sure you're on the right measuring spot. Okay, so pull your white cover down, and you just push, and look at that. Look at how it's just like butter. It moves just like butter. So that's the height of our paper. Now we have to double the size for the, oh, I don't have my calculator, and I'm not even going to try to do it. I'm terrible at figuring off of this. So what we're going to do, let's see if I can figure this out. 4 3/4, okay? 4 3/4 is half of the page, right? So we're going to then add another 4 3/4. Does that sound dumb? 4. Well, let me figure it up on paper. Oh my goodness. Okay, 3 3/4. So I know you guys are screaming the answer at me, aren't you? So it's 7 1/2. Okay, so oh no, it's not 7 1/2. It's 9 1/2. So let me look at this again. Okay, 14, 15. No, it's 7. It is, no. I wrote 3 instead of 4. Oh my word. I do, you know, I did do math in school the best of any subject. Do you believe me? No. So it's 9 1/2. Okay, 9 1/2. So I'm going to write that right here next to my my paper. Why is my pen is acting, the thing on my pen is making my pen pop out. Okay, so 9 1/2. Okay, so we want to take this same paper, even it up nicely. Okay, and I want the raw edge on the bottom, so I want the top to be the top of the book, the smooth, crisp cut. And here we're going to go in at 9 1/2, and that is going to make us go to, let's see, 9 1/2. Let's go right up here. We can always take some off. It's better to know, you know. Okay, so lay your plastic edge down, and now we're going to pull this forward, and look at this nice sweet cut we've got. Love this machine. I don't overuse it. I only use it when I want precise measurements, but there we go. These are going to be perfect for our book. Now let's do the next set of 3, which we're going to go ahead and jump right in and do our beautiful florals here. And we've got 3 of these. So I'm doing all 3 signatures with the same paper, maybe a different color, but they're all going to have the same style paper, and they're all going to be from Close to My Heart. This is, like I said, the Live Beautifully. The last one didn't say what the name of it was, or I would have gave you guys that. So again, we want to cut the length or the height of our paper. So we know that that's going to be 8 1/4. So we'll do that first, 8 1/4, right here. Put this down and push. If you have any hesitant thoughts, now's the time to stop. You know, now would be when you want to stop. Now, I'm gonna put these others up and make sure, yep, I got them right, I got them right. I'm proud of me, proud of me, proud of me. Okay, so I'm taking my smooth slick side, the side that I didn't cut, to be the top of my page. So now, once again, we have to do the 9 1/2. Just make sure all your papers are even. I made sure they were all stacked nicely. And I'm going to pull, and we're going to have some great scraps for pockets and so forth. Ta-da! Perfect cut. And we will put these all together and fold them just as soon as we have them all cut. Now, this is the only paper, the gold foiled paper is the only paper that is not double-sided. Everything else is double-sided. So you get that extra splash of color. Okay, so now I'm trying to decide, I think I want this polka dot to be on the top of each signature or on the bottom. What are you thinking? Let me look at all of them and make sure they have good, you know, they're not all rolled up or beat up. Well, they're not, this one's not perfect. So I will grab the bag and see if I have one more sheet. Let's see if it has a better edge than this one. Yes, it does. So it's not bent. So we're going to put that one back in the package and go from there. All right. I hope I'm not driving you guys crazy being so finicky here. I think I hadn't done a video in forever. Okay, so now we're going to do the width again. So we want to put these strips of polka dot at the top, so that can be the top of the page, right? And again, we're wanting it to be 8 1/4. Okay. And we're leaving on, I guess it's the branding strip. I'm not sure what they call it. Now that was thick paper. I felt the difference on that, but it's still cut just like butter, which is awesome. Okay, so now we got to do the width again, which is the 9 1/2. Make sure all your papers are in order. When I say in order, I mean straight. Okay, all of them straight. Hold this plastic down. And you don't want to pull that slow. I recommend you pull it fast like I did. Nothing has time to move anywhere if you pull it pretty fast. Now look at that. That is going to be pretty on the front inside. If I use that on the front inside. If not, it's going to be the center of the signature. Okay, so we got those done. Now we're going to do this floral set. Now you want the floral set kind of, because they're all different, you want to make sure they're all turned the same direction when you cut it so you have continuity. I am looking at those two match. Yes. And let's put this one, let's see. We have two blues. I think this is a green right here. It is, it's green. But we still want it to face the right direction, correct? Okay, there we go. All right, so we are going to want to make sure we have, you know, everything just like we want it. So I'm gonna make this the top. And so we're gonna go 8 1/4 again for the top. Push it quickly. Now we want to do, got the top done. Now we're going to do the 9.5. Okay. Nine and a half. Wait a minute. I'm going to flip that around because I like the looks of the corner of the other one. 9.5. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice. So excited. This book is going to be so pretty. Now, again, here is another top that I want to add and leave on here because I love that it's these pink roses. And the reason I'm adding this beigey color is because there's beige in the background of this. I just want you to understand where my mind's coming from. Plus, this is beige trim. See? Now, we still have white in this book. I don't have a problem mixing white and beige. As you can see right here, they've added white flowers, and they've added white behind these roses here. And I want to add some more gold, and I thought this might even go on the front of the book. Haven't decided yet. Haven't decided yet, but this is some of the coolest trim. I wish I could tell you where I got it. It's Merchant 41, it says. It's a spandex type. Oh, Hobby Lobby. This was from Hobby Lobby, guys. It's from 2016, so it's been around for a while. Okay, so that's why this color is being introduced into our book also. So this is going to be the top. So I want to make sure everything is at the top. And again, we're going to do 8 1/4 for the height. There's a little corner that just doesn't look like it wants to be where it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, 8 1/4. Okay, lay the plastic down and push quickly. And now we're going to also do the 9.5 for the width. And that's going to go just like this. 9.5. Great for some tags, right? All right, there we go. Now, let's put the papers in order of how we're going to have them in the book. Now, we're going to, if we have time, we're going to cut more. But I think, I'm trying to decide. I think this is going to be the inside of, or the front cover. And the reason is because of this ribbon. If when I fold this and we put the blue paper here, okay, on the inside, and then we have these colors, but we have this beige, this will look better than it would up against the white. Let me show you what I mean. So if I had the white as the front cover, and then we had the blue over here as our inside cover, let's just do it like this, you'll see. And if I run this ribbon around the book in and around the spine, you're going to have that beige. Really doesn't look bad though, guys, does it? Okay, now what do I want to do? Because even though this is an ivory, it still has a little bit of white. It looks white up again. It looks whiter than it does ivory. So this one, or do I want this one. I don't know, guys. I think the other one looks better. So we're going to use it. And the floral, color floral, will be the inside of the book. So that's easy enough to decide, huh? So now we're going to fold this. We're going to fold our pages in half, which will give us the 8 1/4 by 4 3/4 for each side. Just want to make sure you got it nice and straight. So this is going to be the first page of the book. Now, I'm going to lay out the others here so we know what we're going to keep them separate, so we have them right where we want them. Okay, and so then we're going to put in, since we're going to have an inside cover that is blue, I thought we'd go with pink, but also has blue for the other side. Okay, both of these must be the same. They are. Sitting here trying to decide which one, and they're both identical. Crazy. So when you fold these that have designs, you just want to make sure your design is in the same position as you would want it to be. I decided to go with this peach color as the second part, and then we have this blue here that comes up. So the next one, we've got 5 sheets per signature. I'm being pretty generous there, aren't I? I'm adding a lot of this pretty paper because I just think, you guys, it is gorgeous. Okay, so let's go with this green and yellow. Well, wait a minute. I think I want that to be in the second signature. So, let's see. But then we'll have this right up against that, so we don't want to do that. So let's go with our beige. Our beige with the design. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do about that? Now this page is cut too short. I have some others that would work, but I'm thinking we're going to add some kind of trim across this page and make it special. So don't be alarmed by that. I should have looked on the back of that. Let me look on the back of the white. Yeah, the white, I knew pretty well that it didn't have, you know, any color that wouldn't work. Okay, so don't worry about it. We're gonna fix it with another way of doing it. And I mean, even if we have to put a ribbon or a strip of different paper or this trim, let's just see what it would look like with this trim. This trim is stretchy spandex, so I think that it will work great if we do that. Looky here, I think it looks really pretty. So we'll decide what to do with it. If not, we'll change the paper at a later date. So we're not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so this goes right in here. We still have 2 more sheets. So now we've got this beigey color. So whichever of these we decide to use is going to work. Since we've got the beige up top, let's do the blue. So we're going to fold this over and make the blue meet here. I want to make sure the design is in the same position that on all of the pages. There we go. Now we're going to come over here, and I can see right here, I think I just lost my pen. I can see right here that this is something that bugs me. See this? How it's separate? When we're all done, we'll take this and trim all our paper off. Now, you can do it a little at a time, or you can do it all at once. But you get the best cut if you make sure all your paper is up into the spine and then put it under here and make it straight. I've done it where I have cut one sheet at a time. I mean, those were the olden days, but you don't have to do that because you do have, if you have this trimmer, you will not have that problem. Okay, make sure you fold straight. This is going to be the center of each signature. Let's see. And we're just going to fold the first one on video because you guys understand how to do this. Now this is the outside, but this is going to be our inside. And look how pretty. Oh, that's upside down. Want to make sure there is an upside down and a wrong side. Here's the buds of the roses are going up. At least the majority is. That one's down, but most of them are up. So you want to go with that. Okay, so here we have our little first signature. Okay, so I'm going to put these to the side. I'm going to show you some of the other papers that are just general paper. Let me grab it. It's right here. I set things aside, so I thought I did. What did I do with that paper? Here it is. I have so many stacks going on in my room that it's kind of hard to know what's what sometimes. Okay, now, I haven't got my regular tea stain paper out yet, but I will. But I'm just putting vintage papers in here. I'm going to put dictionary, music sheet, you name it. I'm going to have all different kinds of paper in here. Typewriter book, an old typewriter book. Let's see if the date's on this particular sheet. It comes from the same book. No, it's not, but it's old. Can't remember off the top of my head. Here's another dictionary sheet. Some math papers from an old math book. I believe it's math. It's got some writing on it as well. So that's kind of cool, huh? Yeah. There's two of those. And then here is a third. Some of them will be one direction, some will be others. That's what the fun of journaling is having things different lengths, different heights, you know, having tucks and so forth. So that makes it fun. Then we've got this old printer paper. Got tons of this and I love it, and I use it in everything. And then here's some different journaling sheets that all these have been tea stained. You can see here, all these are all going to be in this book. So we might as well get started cutting some of those. Let me see what the time is. Okay, we've still got time. We can cut some more. If you're not interested in this part, I understand. You can just move on to the next thing. Let's see what the width of this paper is. It is 8.5, which means it's going to be too short. So let's just cut off these holes. So we're going to fold it in half. So we'll do 8.25 on here. Make sure everything's straight. Although if we cut off here, we are going to end up with half of a hole. I would rather have the whole punched area here. I'd like to have it all in one piece if we're going to do it that way. Now, this is, unless you're cutting the same paper, this is when you find yourself doing single sheets, okay? That is the only sheet like this, and so, yeah. Now, let's measure the width of this here. We want it to be the 9.5, right? Yeah, it was 9.5. Oh my goodness, guys, we went last night and saw the end of, saw my daughters play again. Yes, we're those parents. you know, we got to go at least once a week, even though it's outrageously expensive. But I'm going to fold this as we get done. I'm going to fold these, okay? And I am going to cut some of them together if they're the same size. Anyway, yeah, we went and saw her with my son and his family and children, and we took a whole row. We were on row 2 because we bought them early. My daughter-in-law wanted to be that close. I personally like to be back 5 or 6 rows because you can see the whole stage and see everything happening all over the place. But she wanted to be there, and she was looking forward to it, and I've seen it before, so I wanted her to be able to have fun. Okay, so we're going to do the height of this one. May not have to be cut. Okay, it's shorter than the 8 1/4. So we'll just do, and it's also shorter than the 9 1/2. It's exactly that. So we're just going to fold this one. So this part does go kind of slow. I know you guys know this is probably not the most fun in making a journal, but it has to be done, right? Okay, so now we want to cut, we want to make sure we have the 8 1/4. So we're going to cut a little bit off on this one, 8 1/4. And then we're going to fold it. Oh, wait a minute. We got to make sure it's the right width. Hello, Paula. Get with it. Okay, so now we have to make sure it's the right width. So let's pull it up here and do 9 1/2. Yeah, we got to cut some off. So that wouldn't have been too cool, huh? That would have been the wrong size. So then we're just going to fold it. I like leaving the shaggy ends on. Listen, if I could tear my pages and know that everything would be accurate, I would have the shaggy parts of the paper. I like that look. Collaging has done that to me. It has made me want everything to look shaggy. So there we go. There's one stack. So let's work on the next one. We know this one is not going to need to be cut because we just did one. So we'll just fold it. This one's tea stained really well. Okay. And let's do this one. Let's see. Now, this is some computer stationery. So we want to do, the height is 8 1/4. Okay, so we might have to cut just a tiny bit off. Now, if these were all the same papers, you know, it'd be a whiz to do this. Now we're going to cut a 9 1/2. Okay, let me look here. I might want to cut off of both ends. And I tell you why. Oh, how much do we have? Well, we have quite a bit. Let's see, we have 1 1/4. So let's bring this up. Oh gosh, let me think. Let's bring it up a 1/2 inch. Let's try taking a 1/2 inch off of here. And then we'll see how much we need to take off of this side. Probably about the same. 9 1/2. Just a little less, but we were close enough, right? We'll hang on to this because that will be something nice to use. Okay, and now we're going to fold this in half. I always like to throw this in if it's a floral book. And I am going to find some actual roses to put in this book too, some rose pictures. But we got to have some birds, right? Okay, so let me see. I want to cut a little bit off. I don't want this rounded edge right here. So I'm going to cut that off. I don't want to get any of the bird. For sure want to do that. So that's gone. Now we can flip it over and do the 9.5. If we lose the names of the days, that's no big deal to me. I doubt it is to you. It's not the point of us doing this book, right? Okay, and so now we want to take, let's see what height it is, because that makes a difference. Let's see, we want it to be 8 1/4. So we don't want to cut off any of this bird, so let's just cut as short as we have to down here. Got just a tiny bit of the bottom of a letter. Now let's see where we'll be. Let's see, 8 1/4. I don't want to cut off the head. I'd rather cut off feet of a bird than a head. And see, that's going to cut off part of the head. So we're going to cut just to the very top of the head. Right here. And then we'll flip it around and do the bottom of this yellow bird to get it the 8 1/4. Okay. Get it nice and straight. It's only going to cut off some of the letter, the writing of what the bird says, and that's not that big a deal. We know we're going to have a perfect cut though with this trimmer. Okay. Anyway, my daughter did superb. I mean, everybody did superb yesterday. And what was really cool about it was that here's the next set. The really cool part about it was that everyone was super relaxed. And you know, when you're super relaxed, you can, I mean, they have done it so many times, you know, for the next weekend is the last week. My daughter's children, I'm sorry, I took a drink. These two are the same, so we can cut them together. My daughter's children started school last week, so you know how hectic that is. School supplies, this and that. And her dad's been doing a lot, but he's also had to travel out of the country some, so that makes it kind of hard. Okay, let's look here. We need 1/4, 8 1/4. So we want to make sure this is all measured at 8 1/4. Okay. And this has been tea stained, so it's not going to be perfect. You know what? I just realized the third sheet would have made it in there too. So let's just cut it real quick, and then we'll add it in with the rest. Okay. 8 1/4. 8 1/4. Well, this will give us at least one less cut, right? Okay, now, sometimes I mix it up and don't put 3 of one thing, kind of mix up what's going to be in each signature, and then every now and then I jump in with something different. Okay, so we have the height. Now we need the width. Let's go up here so we can cut off this big margin instead of cutting off anything else. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I turned it the wrong way. All right, let's do it like this. Okay, so we're going to go to, make sure this is all even, and we're going to go to 9 1/2. Let's see. There we go. So all 3 of these are going to be just alike. They're all going to be measured the same. Okay. Now I know the more papers you add to your journal, the more papers that have to be trimmed off to make it a straight cut. And the reason I'm saying that is the last book I made, which was the Windows book, The Window Garden is actually the name of that paper if any of you are having a hard time finding it. It's at Elsie Bell's bookshelf. I thought I'd put the link down below, so hopefully I did. Okay, here's these three. Oh, I forgot what I was telling you guys. There's some more pages. Got one alike and one not alike. Okay, so let's see how tall this is. Okay, so we're gonna cut this at 8 1/4, just like before. So they were all so at ease. It felt way more realistic, you know. Do you guys know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn this around. I don't want to cut the holes in half. So we'll do 8 1/4 this direction. Yeah, everything just, I mean, they felt like they were on a Greek island, you know, and everything just seemed so realistic. And so, okay, so that is the 8 1/4. Now we need to do the 9 1/2. Let's see how long this is. Pretty long. Let's see, let's just pull it out to 9 1/2 and see how much we're talking about. Okay, so we have 1 1/2, so 3/4. We're just going to move this up 3/4 and cut that at the bottom here. Okay, and then we'll turn it around and cut 3/4 again. And put it on 9 1/2. Yeah, there you go. See? That worked out. So here we're going to do the same thing with this different paper. It's the only one like that. So 8 1/4 on that. And then we're going to turn it and do 9 1/2. I like to cut the paper where you have the most journaling space. So usually I'll cut these titles like this off so you have a better journaling spot. So I'm going to fold this one in half. Make sure everything's straight. It's nice to use this trimmer because when you fold, you know you're getting nice straight edges. Okay. This paper, it dyed up different. You know, different papers dye differently. This one, it just, I don't know how to describe it. It just dyed different. It looks grayish almost. And I'm sure it has to do with the blue background. There we go. All right, on this next one, we have 2 sheets alike also. So we definitely want to cut this shagged end off. It's too much. It will get hung on things. Oh, we have a torn paper right here. So we're going to have to deal with that individually. Torn papers are fine. So we're going to do the height first. Let's see, 8 1/4. 8 1/4. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do the 9 1/2. Okay. And I'm going to cut off that shagginess. The other one will be cut slightly different, just avoiding the tear. I'm going to hang on to this because you never know what we might do with that. And this one. Some of them are too small to really do anything with, but okay, so that is going to fold in half nicely. There we go on that one. Now this one, the first thing we're going to do is cut off the torn spot here. Okay, and hope that we still have everything like we need it to be. Okay, so we need it to be 8 1/4. Let's see. 8 1/4. So right here. Now we'll flip it this way and do 9 1/2. Yeah, there's not much difference on how it ended up turning out. So we're going to fold that in half. We just ended up with this little bit right up here that we didn't have on the other page, which makes it a little different since we are obviously doing it different since here's the ledger. So we're going to do 8 1/4 for the ledger. Just barely took any off. And we're going to do 9 1/2. We'll hang on to this ledger piece. And that piece is not torn, so might as well hang on to, oh, I didn't see this one and this one. I'm not paying attention, am I? We might use those. These, I don't know. This one, maybe. I don't get rid of tea stain paper, do you? I'm always afraid, I'm gonna throw that in here since I've got my hands on it. I'm always afraid I'll end up with, you know, short a certain amount. So I'm gonna fold the ledger in half. So there we go. 3 pieces. Now, these are all small pieces and we're not going, they're all different. These 3 are different. They have different quotes on them. So I'm gonna put 1 in each signature because they're great for journaling with these lines. So that's a set of these. And then we're gonna do these pink ones. I always like to put these in. I'm about to run out, and so when that happens, it happens. There's another one like it. These little things are great for journaling. I like having them in. They're a different size. They give it a different look. Now on this one, it says, girls want to have fun? Of course we do. So I'm going to make sure that this is not more than 9 1/2 inches. Just barely. That wasn't too bad, huh? All right, so we'll fold it in half. We still have our saying on there. And we've got that set. Here's some more small things. 2 of these are alike. So they're okay as far as the width. We just want to make sure it's not more than 9 1/2 inches. It's not, so we're just going to fold these. I love these notes papers. It's my very favorite thing I have, and I'm almost out of them, and it makes me sad. I think I just got these like at a, I don't know, honestly. And here is going to be the second signature. Put this in the middle. We've got those done. And the next one is things to do. We've got 2 of those. And I know they're going to be perfect in size. So we can just fold these. Got 2 of these, and so we'll do the middle one different. That's how I usually do it. Got this journaling or planner paper here. I like to buy planner paper to put in my journals because they are great for journaling. All the lines and different spaces. Maybe you want to journal in one box this time, and maybe another time journal in another box with a different date. That's what I like about them. Okay, so we have those done. Now let's do this old typewriter paper. I know we're going to lose one of the ends, but let's get it all on here right first. Okay. This is 8 1/4. I'll hang on to these. That's the height, and now we want to do the 9 1/2. Okay, and hang on to those. So we will have these 3 tea stained that are just the size we need them to be. Okay. Got those 3. Okay, now we're going to cut this old ledger paper. Not ledger, photo paper. It has never been used, as you can see, but it's in really good condition. And so I add this once in a while. I'm going to see if it's even the right size to put through here. I think it's too wide, so we're going to have to cut the narrow way. So we'll go ahead and cut the height, which is 8 1/4. I'm hoping that we'll have enough to do 3 between this one and the other color. I also have like a mauve color. They don't have to be the same height, so that won't be a big deal. So 9 1/2. Yeah, this one's going to cut out just right. Hang on to that. Okay, so now let's get the pink one. This is a little bit thinner, but it will work just fine. So we're going to do 8 1/4, our first cut. Put this to the side. Then we're going to do 9 1/2. Yeah. Now, hang on to this, and we're going to hang on to some of this other. So this is going to give us 2 at this height, which is the height of the book. Okay, this one and this one. I love the way it looks. Oh, you know what? This is not going to make it. Look. I guess it's in worse shape than I thought. We'll just have more pink ones in our stash. We'll do this one big pink one, and I have another one already cut out. So all we got to do is make this 9 1/2. So we're going to cut some of them smaller than the others. There's always a way to make it work. I know I have another piece of this because I saw it. But did I bring it over here? Yeah, I'll get it. It's right here. Give me a second to get over there because I'm slow. I thought that I got it out of here. There it is. There it is. I might have to cut it down a little bit. I'm limping back. Okay, so we want this to be the width of the book, which is 4 3/4. So right here, it's already folded, so we're just gonna cut that little bit off right there. So we're gonna end up with 3 different sizes, see? So we'll put the big one in the middle, medium in the front, and the small in the back. And we've got that taken care of. Now we have this left, which You could still do things with that. It's just that that particular one is not going to work. So some of this stuff is already cut, which I had taken out of other books due to being overcrowded or something. So I'm going to measure and see. So let's see if this is going to be too big to put, because it's already got the binding here, which I love to do these like this when I can. So this needs to be 9.5 wide, and it is actually 10.5. So I'm just going to take 1/4 of an inch off each end. So I'll just keep it folded and do that. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay, this should fit perfectly in our book. Let me look. Yes, it will fit perfect. Okay, and then this one, we will do the same thing too. Yeah, let's just put it here where it will have 1/4 of an inch taken off both sides. There we go. There's that one. And then this one. So we want to do the same thing. Want them to be the same size. That one just needs a smidgen off. I mean, like literally a smidgen. That didn't take much, huh? There's those math papers. Now let me see what we've got here to work with. Now here is, let's do the dictionary paper first. There's one sheet, 2 sheets, and this one is together. But I think it would end up cutting off part of it, so I don't want to do that this time. I have done it before, you know, cut off the, I mean, I did it with another piece of paper. So you just kind of have to decide how you want it. I'm just going to fold these in half. I know they're going to be the right size, yes. And make sure there's a picture on the outside. I like the rugged edge of the torn part of the dictionary right here. Okay, so back to my daughter's play. I was going to finish telling you guys, and I haven't. My son and his kids came, and his wife, and there's those. We just had the greatest time doing it together. You know, it was so much fun. I loved watching my son smile as his sister performed. He just had his birthday, and oops, don't want that to happen, do we? My son just turned 45. I know I've told you guys that because I don't have a life and have much going on. Well, right now I do. I have a lot going on. It's called my hip. But anyway, so here is a student step by step. This is talking about sequins. And this chapter is relationships. And I don't know what year. It doesn't say on here. And I don't have the book out, so I'm sorry. But let's see how long this is. And my daughter is 40, so yeah, that would have to cut off a lot. Let me bring this up to just the title. Maybe we can keep from cutting the title off. And then cut the other side, right? Okay, so let's see. Might lose part of the page. Go down to the 9.5. It's the only thing about different size books. Sometimes you don't get the full sheet of paper. Sorry. I guess I could fold that. So let's see if we can get it to kind of crease right here. Don't use your fingers, that's a sharp blade. I just almost did that, did you see? crazy lady. Crazy lady. That's me. Okay, we'll just do it like this, and then we don't lose any. That's a better idea, I think. And we'll do that with all 3 pages. Let's see what the height is. The height is perfect. It's 8 1/4. So we're going to do this one again. We're going to put it at 9 1/2. And then we're just going to take this pin that doesn't have the, I think I just tore that. I did. We have to cut that one off. I'm sorry. It just tore out of the blue. It must have, you know, these are real vintage books from probably some this old lady used in school. You never know. And then we've got this one. We'll try to save it. This one says a tornado does strange things. So I'm assuming we're going to be talking about tornadoes. On this one, see if I can cut that and get that shagged cut. Yep, sure did. Now let's try and not cut this one, Paula. Put it at 9 1/2, and then just bring it down gently and fold it. Yeah, that's better. Make sure it's the right height, and it is. So we've got 3 of these. And I will add some music sheet. I've got some other, you know, I might even add these 3 if I need them. But I have music sheets I'm going to add to this, and some other stuff. Oh, here's the music sheets. Let me grab them. Now, the music sheets are smaller on these are, so I may look for some bigger music sheets. These are too small in my opinion. So we have all of this done so far. I've just got to get the rest of the actual paper done, and we've got all of these, and then the rest of the cardstock. And you never know, I may put a digital pages in here. Just gotta wait and find out. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go and end this video here because we are a few minutes past an hour. So I'll see you in the next video where we'll paint the crackle white and paint over the crackle white and see what it's gonna reveal for us for a book cover. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.